The old diner sat on the edge of Route 17, a rusted sign swinging in the wind, Maggie's Place. It wasn't known for much outside of its loyal locals and its battered blue booths. The paint peeled, the floors creaked, and the menu hadn't changed since 1984. But that didn't stop Gordon Ramsay's SUV from pulling into the gravel lot on a gray Thursday afternoon. Inside, 19-year-old Ellie bustled behind the counter, scribbling orders and refilling chipped mugs. The only cook in the back was her grandfather, Tommy Griggs, a Vietnam vet with a bum knee and a lifetime of kitchen scars. Gordon stormed in, flanked by a small filming crew. The bell above the door jangled violently. Ellie's eyes widened. "Is that? Bloody hell," Gordon muttered, looking around. "This place looks like a haunted IHOP." The camera crew captured his grimace. He approached the counter, tapping a crusty laminated menu. "Who's responsible for this culinary graveyard?" Ellie raised her hand, timidly. "My granddad. He's in the kitchen." Gordon didn't wait. He barged through the swinging door into the tiny kitchen. A cloud of steam hit him, along with the scent of grease and burnt toast. Tommy, in a white apron that had seen better decades, looked up from the flat-top grill. "You lost?" he asked. Gordon folded his arms. "No, but your seasoning sure is. I've seen more color in hospital food." Tommy grunted. "I don't do fancy. I cook to feed people." "Well, you're feeding them disappointment," Gordon snapped. Back in the dining area, the regulars watched in stunned silence as Ramsay's voice bounced off the grimy tiles. Ellie wrung her hands. "You ever heard of fresh herbs? Flavor? Texture?" Gordon barked. "I fought in jungles, son," Tommy said evenly. "You don't need time to stay alive." Gordon rolled his eyes. "This isn't a foxhole. It's a restaurant. Serve something that doesn't taste like regret." Tommy's lips twitched. "You come here to help or to insult old men for sport?" Gordon stepped back. For a moment, the fire in Tommy's eyes matched his own. "Both," Ramsay said flatly. "Let's start with your so-called, famous, meatloaf." Tommy nodded and turned back to the grill. "Ellie," he called. "Meatloaf, 1 plate." Ellie entered cautiously. "You sure?" "Let him taste it," Tommy said. "He's got all the answers." Gordon leaned on the counter as the camera rolled. Ellie placed the plate in front of Gordon with a hesitant glance. 3 thick slices of meatloaf resting beside mashed potatoes and green beans. The presentation was, to be kind, rustic. Brown on brown. No garnish. No flair. Gordon stared at it like it had insulted his ancestors. "Jesus," he muttered. "It's like a retirement home exploded." Tommy leaned on his cane in the doorway. "Go on then. Give it a taste." Gordon cut a slice. The texture was dense. He lifted it, sniffed it, then took a bite. Silence. He chewed slowly. His face twitched, just a flicker. Then another bite. Then a third. Ellie and Tommy waited. Gordon set the fork down. "It's edible," he said. "But dull. No depth. No seasoning. Just beef and despair." Ellie looked down, crushed. Tommy's jaw tightened. "It's my grandmother's recipe," he said. "She cooked it for us during the war when we had nothing but canned meat and dry spices. She said food didn't need to impress, it just needed to remember." Gordon's smirk faded. "She served this to my father before he went off to fight in Korea. He didn't come back," Tommy added. "And I've served it every day since she passed. Maybe it's not Michelin-starred, but it kept this town full when the mills shut down." Gordon looked down at the plate again. The camera crew shifted uncomfortably. Tommy continued, "You came here to fix things, fine. But don't act like what we do here is garbage just because it's not on a white plate with edible flowers." Gordon exhaled. "I'm here because Ellie wrote me. Said she was afraid this place would die with you." Tommy's eyes flicked to Ellie. Her cheeks flushed. I didn't want to lose the diner, Grandad. Not after everything. Tommy's gaze softened. He said nothing. I've seen a lot of kitchens, Gordon said finally. Some with millions of dollars, some with rats. But very few with heart. Ellie whispered. We just need help, Mr. Ramsay. We don't want a miracle. Just a chance. Tommy picked up his cane and turned back toward the grill. Then let's get to work. Gordon watched him go, then looked at the plate again. He took another bite of the meatloaf. This time, he didn't say a word. That night, Gordon stayed after hours. Tommy didn't say much as they stood side by side in the cramped kitchen. The grill sizzled. Gordon peeled potatoes while Tommy prepped onions. You ever think about changing the recipe? Gordon asked. No, Tommy replied. You ever think about shutting up? Gordon chuckled. Fair. Silence followed, thick, but not hostile. Outside, the lights were off, but Ellie sat at a booth with a notebook, sketching ideas for a new logo. You know, Gordon said eventually, I'm not trying to erase what this place means. I just want people to taste that meaning too. Tommy nodded slowly. My wife used to say the same. Food can be tradition, but it should still taste like tomorrow. She sounds brilliant. She was, Tommy said quietly. Cancer took her fast. Ellie was 12. Since then, it's just been the two of us and this place. Gordon glanced at the wall. A faded photo hung there, Tommy in uniform, his wife beside him, Ellie as a baby in her arms. She loved the meatloaf, Tommy added. But she always said I was too proud to improve it. Would you let me help you upgrade it? Not change it. Just honor it. Tommy stirred onions in silence. Then, if we ruin it, I'll punch you. Gordon grinned. Deal. The next morning, they tested variations, adding smoked paprika, caramelized onions, a dash of Worcestershire. Tommy resisted the changes at first. Too fancy, he'd grumble. But when he tasted version 4, he blinked. It still tastes like hers, he whispered. But it's stronger. That's the point, Gordon said. We're not erasing her. We're reminding people of her. They served it at lunch. Locals filled the booths, drawn by the commotion and the cameras. The first regular to try it was Ms. Lena, an 82-year-old widow who ate at Maggie's daily. She took one bite. Then another. Tears welled in her eyes. I haven't tasted this since 1973, she whispered. Not like this. Tommy turned away quickly, pretending to adjust the oven temperature. Gordon placed a hand on his shoulder. She remembered. Tommy nodded. That's worth more than any Michelin star. And for once, Gordon didn't have a clever comeback. A week later, Maggie's place was nearly unrecognizable, not in soul, but in shine. The walls were scrubbed and repainted a warm, earthy cream. The chipped floor tiles had been replaced with rustic wood panels. Ellie's sketches had turned into a real logo, hung proudly over the counter in iron and paint. And the new menu? Still short and simple. But now every dish told a story. Gordon didn't redesign the diner. He resurrected it. On opening day, a small local band played on the patio. Children ran around with chalk. Veterans from the local post came in uniform. Gordon stood near the window, arms folded, watching the flow of it all. Tommy shuffled up beside him. Still don't like you, he muttered. You've said that every day. I'll keep saying it. They both smirked. Ellie approached, wiping flour from her cheek. We're sold out of the meatloaf again. Already? Tommy asked. Lines out the door. Tommy looked overwhelmed. All for meatloaf? All for her story, Gordon said. And yours. Reporters arrived. A local food blogger declared the new meatloaf a working-class marvel. A magazine requested an interview. But Gordon waved them off. This place isn't about me, he said. Talk to them. That night, after the last table was cleared, Tommy brought out an old bottle of whiskey. "Been saving this since '85, he said. "Only for when something truly remarkable happens." He poured 3 glasses. "To the old recipes," Tommy said, raising his glass. "To honoring them without hiding behind them," Gordon added. "To believing in each other," Ellie finished. They clinked glasses. Outside, the neon open sign flickered off. But inside, Maggie's place glowed. Gordon stood at the threshold, ready to leave. "You know," he said, "I came here thinking I'd rip the place apart." Tommy nodded. "And instead, you helped us rebuild it." Gordon smiled. "No. You reminded me that even a cardboard-looking meatloaf can carry more heart than $1,000 soufflé." Tommy didn't respond. He just handed Gordon a folded paper napkin. Inside it was a handwritten recipe. His wife's original meatloaf. "I trust you," Tommy said. "Keep it safe." Gordon blinked, surprised. "Thank you." He stepped into the cool night air. The cameras were gone. The spotlight faded. But in the rearview mirror, Maggie's place gleamed like a lighthouse for hungry souls. And for once, Gordon Ramsay wasn't angry. He was honored.